came with one of these, and being from England, I'm reminded of...
What do we cry when we see a man with a stick? What's on the end of that stick?
She's calling me.
Hey everyone, it's me. So I'm about to go back to the airport. You seen the videos that I was doing on the VFR flight plan? Well, I got to do a real one yesterday. I got assigned to plan a trip between my hometown airport and Scranton. So I filled it out and did it real. And because I know my handwriting may be hard to read, I use Adobe to fill it in, everything that wrote on there, and just put it in there so it was easy to read. So I'm about to go and find out how well I did. I'm gonna go ahead and try these new mounts that I got on the... This is the official one. This is the generic one. It's got a fixed mount top. This one has a swivel mount. This last time it was really bad. Like this one couldn't support the weight of the GoPros. This is too heavy for it. This is lighter and it fits around. There is some key differences, but we'll go into that later. But yeah, I've been studying hard for the written test, which I have in a couple of weeks. And I wanted to get it down now on camera before I'm after the stage, and I'm starting to say it's all easy because it's in the past. There is no right or wrong method that you choose to study or what material you want to cover. They all have their good points, they all have their bad points, and it's important that you mention them and you're not being bad for doing so, because everyone is relying on up-to-date information because the FAA stopped releasing the questions apparently, or sample questions. We're joining the aviation community, so don't be afraid to ask out, go out. I found the mentor Discord, and yeah. So I'm going to continue this later, and I shall see you later. Me, I'm back. So yeah, I just got done with my lesson, and I didn't get to go flying, but it was one of the most fun lessons I've had, oddly enough. He liked the flight plan that I did. There were a couple of mistakes that I did. The one I did to Scranton that I showed him, pretty much it was good. It showed me a better formula to do descents, and I just gotta split it out and split it up, make it easier for me and stuff like this. So the one that we're going to maybe not tomorrow if the weather's not good, you tell me to keep an eye on the weather, is Shoal Kill, Z as in zebra, E Echo Romeo. So Zulu Echo Romeo is the airport that we're going to be going to and coming back. But no, I mean, we didn't go flying, but this was one of the most fun lessons for me anyway, because planning and detailing and everything like that. I actually went to I got to go into the aircraft and get the deviation charts from the two aircraft that we're most likely to use. So I now have that, so I can use that for the mag, to get the compass heading and the mag heading. It's it's interesting and fun and exciting at the same time. And I've asked to go for a dual night cross country flight to go to we're going to be going down to Newcastle, but on the way back we'll be going to Wings Airport, which, if you may know, is a good YouTuber. A friend, Russ flies out of Wings. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the airport at night, because I'm sure it has like remote control lights. So that was I want to go there because I have a personal goal that after I get my private license, so I want to visit the airports of all the YouTubers like Lee Dixon. I would want to go down to Kissimmee and Gareth. I want to go to Orlando Executive and stuff like that, and then Texas for Aviation 101 like that. Not necessarily to meet them, although that would be good, but I more want to experience their airports and see what they're dealing with, and experience their learning environment, so to speak, because like I said, we're only a short distance apart, me and Russ, and we're getting totally different flight experience. He's in I think he's doing part 61. He's using Flight Gateway, which is in Queens City Airport in Allentown, but they have a separate office in Wings Airport at Wingsfield, which is where he flies out of. It's amazing and interesting to me that his experience is proving to be so different compared to mine, mainly because I'm in Charlie airspace and he's in pilot controlled airspace. It's remarkable, fun. I don't know what you want to call it, but no, and he was asking me like the realization that the stuff that I've been learning and studying for my ground course for the written is actually starting to stick, which makes me so happy, because the anxiety level is through the roof for me, and the only way that I personally get over that is to plan everything down to the last detail. The more I plan and prepare, the better I feel. So there is no, as I was trying to say before, that there is no right or wrong method to doing the studying for your flight training, but there is a couple of things that I would caution against. Me and the school that I'm at, Part 41's flight school, they get you Jepson. Well, you buy the Jepson course, and that is limited for 1 year. You also get Glide, but that's also limited for 1 year. But they're basically word written tests. There's no videos, there's no guidance, and I'm very much a visual kind of representative person. And like I said before on the other video, thinking isn't knowing isn't understanding. So when some people say go ahead and get the test done out of the way as fast as possible, the only caution of that is once you do and have that piece of paper, it's only valid for 3 years. And look what's happened in the past year and a half. We've barely got to do any flying last year, and you've lost a year already. And time flies, quite literally. and other things happen, like with what happened to 03 Delta. The FAA told him that his medical was invalidated because of something, and he went through all of that details. If he went and did the written right at the start, washed out and did it to get it out of the way, then he would have wasted his time and money. He came back and did it and got it out of the way, which was fine. But my warning is, if you're someone that's not, like, if you don't like the idea of time pressure because it plays on your mind, then going to do the test straight away is not ideal. And the other thing that I notice is that all of these different sources are good at what they do, but they still miss things in between. Like I completed the Jepson course, the ground lesson courses that you saw me do. I completed the Glide perfectly fine, and the stuff that I'm doing now, I find no one's ever mentioned before. Like, how are they possible? How is this possible? Like, the one example, the King's School, one of the lessons is so simple. It was like, you know, if you accidentally leave your plotter on the top of the plane, it may shrink because of the heat. It gets hot. And how do you check to make sure that the plotter hasn't shrunk? You measure it to one that you know is good, or measure it to the chart. That was never in Jepson. That was never in Glide. That was never in Fly at Mike Alpha. You gotta realize the stuff on YouTube, they're compressed for time. John has used other websites, Venmo I think, or some other thing to do his videos on the website, and I'm doing the written boot camp. Like, I'm not just relying on one thing to do the studying on. I am making sure that I've got my bases covered, so just in case one thing is wrong, I have another thing to back me up. And just because I'm getting 85-86% on the Fly at Mike Alpha, I go ahead and go to Kings, and I'm getting similar scores too, so I know I'm kind of okay. The scary thing is that I saw the previews of the Kings private written and the practice test questions that they have are horrendous regarding airspace. I pointed it out to them on Facebook, which I think I said before, and they're going to see about getting it updated because they saw my point. The person basically described it as American airspace is the standard for the world, and so all the countries are the same and have similar airspaces, or the same airspace, and America's airspace is the international airspace, and it's not. That's wrong. It's the FAA airspace. Canada is international airspace. Not every country has the same class of airspace. England had class F, they took it out and reverted back to their own. They're now under their own type of airspace, not international airspace. America doesn't have class F airspace because we have flight following. We have our own system. Canada has class F, that's international, CAO. So yeah, I pointed that out, and my comments got sent to their production. But no, it was a strange lesson in the sense that we didn't go flying. We spent an hour or so talking about the VFR flight plan, and that's it. And it was really fun. and he said he could tell I've been practicing it. Because the last time that I did one of those navigation logs was with my class a year ago, and COVID happened and I hadn't touched it. So you saw that very first video took like almost an hour and 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes to do, and then I got a little bit faster, and then I got a little bit faster still. Then I got the Electronics E6B, and that took me right over the top. But today I had both. I was able to take the E6B out, the manual and the electronics one, and first I did the calculation, showed him because he hasn't had any experience with it, and then I took the manual one out and showed that the calculations are the same. I know how to do it. But the manual E6B is not very dyslexia friendly. So I'm trusting on the E6B, the Electronics Sporties one. I do like that. It's very used for someone who's used to electronics and computers and stuff like that. It's very good. So yeah, I'm trying the actual GoPro mount that's on the window. That's what's supporting the camera that you're watching me on right now. If it passes the car test, I may try it out in the plane, like if it sticks and hold. I got a cheap one from Amazon, a $6 one that you may see. It's like this, which I was trying to show you before, but the head doesn't swivel around. It doesn't have GoPro on the little handle, and it doesn't stick. It can't support the weight of any of the GoPros, even the little small. Hey y'all, it's me again. So the camera cooled down a bit. I didn't realize how bad the heat was on the camera, and it kind of stopped because it got overheated. So I'm almost back. I had to go all the way around, and
You have reached your destination.
if you remember my flights where I'm doing my solos, I'm beam of the ski lodge, or I'm now driving by the ski lodge. I'm gonna be going up on the hill to go into my hometown, the opposite way around, because they are doing work on the exit ramp to my hometown or home city. So I'm going the other way around to avoid all that nonsense. But in this side of it, just quickly, what I was going to say is, ideally, if you are someone that doesn't deal too well with time pressure, or you just want to be comfortable doing all the knowledge tests and everything like that, go ahead and do all the lessons, do the guide courses, but do it at the same time that you're flying, so you can comprehend what you're reading and learning and understand it at the same time as you're learning it, because it will feel like you're drinking from a fire hose. And plan to take the written at the same time as you start doing your cross country, because when you're doing your cross country, you're virtually almost right at the end of your private pilot training, and you should definitely be able to do that last little bit of flying needed within a 3-year time period. So it's a way to give you one less thing to worry about and not worry about anything interfering. I mean, if anything does interfere, that's just bad luck. I mean, knowing my luck, you probably would. So, you know, I mean, if you go ahead and, like, before you even take your first flight lesson, you go wash out and try and do it like I did, you end up like a fool, because I got one, you know, I failed the test. and that piece of paper that I got was valid for 3 years. And it's been more than 3 years since I took that test now. That was in 2018. And I used John's material at Fly Mike Alpha. I was one question short. I knew the answers, I memorized the questions, but did I understand any of it? Probably not. Evidently not, because like I've gone through all the course material, and it's only now actually doing this stuff when my instructor was like, what's this on the map? What's this on the map? What's this? What's this? What's that? What does this mean? What does HS1 mean? How can you find this? Where do you see this? Like, I realized it's sticking. I understand it. I have the knowledge and I understand how to apply it and where to apply it. And you don't get that from the textbooks and videos alone. So that's why I'm saying there's no right or wrong method. There's no right or wrong material. The Jepson and Gleim all have time periods on it, and you have to pay. And you have to keep paying a subscription to keep the Gleim. The King's School, I found, has no time limit. John Fly Mike Alpha, they have some free courses, but the premium ones are better. But there's glitches on the site, and you know, not everything's perfect. So again, that's why I reverted to something else. I'm not solely relying on that one thing, but I'm combining everything together to find the best solution for me. And it's anyone watching my stuff, it's obvious, because you can see that the way they use the manual flight computer. You saw I used John's method, and when I was calculating the feet per minute climb and descent, you saw I was using that Cynthia, or I've forgotten her name, I apologize. I was using the other videos. I combine everything into something that works for me, and ultimately it took all the pressure off me. I didn't have to worry about it. So I kind of ignored people saying you have to do it this way, it's best to do it this and this way. I take the best bits of what they found useful and combine it into something for me. And it works. So whether I'm going to be smiling or not in 2 weeks time, I don't know. So alright, I'm going to be signing off after this truck gets past me, because I'm not going to go up against an 18-wheeler. I'm going to go ahead and sign up, so I'll see you guys later.